Righty, how's it going, ladies and gents? I have for you a Wi-Fi battle today against a guy or girl called Nardo. If it's you, let me know, I'll put your channel in the video description. This one is one of the better Wi-Fi battles I've got saved up. I've got a few, but you guys have probably noticed I'm leaning more towards Showdown, like I said, but I've got exams starting in a few days, so between like the 28th of whatever month this is, May, and the 5th of June, probably won't be that active. I mean, I'm probably going to schedule some Showdown stuff that I'll record in bulk today, but, you know, as for Twitter interactions and whatever, I may not be that active, so just putting that out there. First turn, oh god, it's a black guy. It got replaced with, it was a white woman in the preview, I swear. What? That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, first turn, Weezing is going to switch out on my Auroras. I'm just going to go straight for the T-Wave, thinking that Weezing's going to be quicker, actually, but I think we find out later that I am apparently quicker than that thing, so, you know, that's always nice to bear in mind. So, kill the Gastrodon with a Freeze Dry. Freeze Dry, awesome move, absolutely wrecks stuff like Gastrodon, Swampert, Pelipper, Mantine, stuff like that. A lot of things that are quad weak to it, you'd be surprised. Going to my Chestnut on this turn, I think if I'd have stayed in there, I might actually have been able to take the Brick Break, because I think I'm Choppleberry, is that what it's called? The Fighting Berry? Or I'm Lefties, I don't know, we'll find out later in the game, but normally I tend to run, like, Choppleberry on it if I can't find a spare set of Lefties, you know? So in comes the Weezing. It can't hit me with a Sludge Bomb, but it can definitely burn me or hit me with a Fire Blast or whatever, so I definitely want to be getting out of there. Go into Rotom expecting a T-Bolt, expecting my switch into Tentacruel, but that doesn't happen. That's fine. Take a, you know, reasonable amount of damage there, so I would hazard a guess that that thing's invested in special attack, but not really sure what people are running on Weezings nowadays. Go into Big Kenny, who is definitely going to eat up any hits from this guy, even a T-Bolt. That'll do, what, 20% maybe if it's lucky. So I'm just going to take the opportunity to get up my Toxic Spikes. That will definitely be good for wearing down... What was the main bulky thing he had? I guess Kingler would be useful for, to a certain extent, if I have to stall it out with Chestnut, that sort of thing. But, you know, why not get him up anyway? And now, knowing that this thing's probably not going to want to stay in, I may as well go for a knockoff. I don't need 2 layers of T-Spikes, there's no reason for that here. So I'm just going to hit the incoming Galvantula, which I think turns out to be Scope Lens, which is a bit strange given the ability, but I don't know, maybe he wants the 100% accurate Thunder, which is reasonable. Knock off that thing's item, and I know from experience that Tentacruel can take any special hits from Galvantula, even a Thunder. Like, I could have taken Specs Thunder by the looks of it. Get the Power Hacks, that's unfortunate. But I do get off a Scald on this turn, and this is not the end of Tentacruel, my friends. Bring this thing down to a range where the regular poison's going to kill it off. That's one of them times where you definitely want the 1 layer of T-Spikes over 2 layers. Now in comes the Ninetales, which might look like a weird switch, but it is OU-UU, so it's still allowed. Drought. I think it's OU. Yeah, because Bisharp and... what do you call it? Infernape would push it up to OU. So that's fine. Take an extra sensory, pretty well actually, no flinch luckily because it does have the 10 or 20% flinch chance. Knock off the Wide Lens, I don't even know what Wide Lens does, I think... Wait, what was the other one? Scope Lens on Galvantula, that might have been the crit one. Wide Lens might be the accuracy one, so... maybe it has Hypnosis? Question mark? Not really sure. But, you know, I live a Solar Beam on 1 HP because Kenny is... This one doesn't die. He's had enough of his deaths in his youth. Growing up, stays alive for as long as he possibly can. It's great. It's good to see the change. Died to an extra sensory, though, finally. But that brings down the Ninetales to where basically anything can kill it. I could have gone to Lipid here, I guess, and gone for just a copycat, but I figured, nah, we'll go to Rotom, go for a Volt Switch. And that way, next turn, whatever comes in, I can then go for Copycat Volt Switch on that. Get a bit more damage off, and that is essentially Switch Initiative, because, you know, Prankster Volt Switch is the way to go around these parts. Weezing comes in. I obviously didn't want to stay in there and try and sucker punch, because that would probably end up me getting burnt, so I'm just gonna switch out of there. Do a pretty good chunk. I'm not invested in special attack, but I think I'm naive nature, life orb, so it does a good amount. Go to Aurorus because it is my special attacker, so I don't really care if it does get burnt. And look at that, Sludge Bomb does absolutely nothing, because Aurorus is an absolute special offensive beast. Despite having the worst typing in the game, I think statistically it is the worst typing in the entire game. It is very hard to kill unless you have some kind of super effective move. Like, you need a fighting or steel move to take it down, really. But yeah, take next to nothing from the Fire Blast, and I'm just going to go for the Nature Power Tri-Attack, which is Refrigerate boosted, of course, next turn. That's going to take it out from there. Best way to beat Aurorus, right? Taunt it. It can't T-Wave, it can't Nature Power, and normally all they have apart from that is like Freeze Dry and Ancient Power, which is piss weak, but you know. I was thinking of trying a physical Aurorus soon. Right, I'm going to bounce this idea off you guys, let me know what you think, right? Rock Polish, Toxic Orb, Facade, which is obviously boosted by the Poison plus the Refrigerate, Earthquake, Stone Edge. That, I think, has potential. It doesn't have a great physical attack stat, but I like the idea, basically, is what I'm saying. So I kill this Bishop with Infernape. Probably should have just gone for a Mach Punch to avoid breaking my sash, but what are you going to do? Now the Kingler comes back in. Now I know Kingler has enough natural bulk to take any single hit, and I think Thunder Punch does about the same as close combat. Yeah, I think it's relatively the same amount of damage when you factor in Stab and Iron Fist and whatever else. But yeah, it takes out the Infernape, but now all I've got to do is bring in my Rotom once again. Or Light, I think is still around. But yeah, Rotom's going to outspeed this thing, obviously. I am Choice Scarfed. And I can just go for the Hex to take it out, because Hex is badass. And no way Kingler's living that. That would have probably killed from full. So that will be the game. That is a nice little Rotom finisher there. Good game, Nardo. Very enjoyable, man. Girl. White girl, black man, whatever you are. I don't really know. So, yeah, like I said, next few days I'll have exams, but I will probably try and record a showdown session later today, either RU or NU. So with that being said, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.